Okay. Live with autism. They live with their mom and dad.
Fine.
And
So
their
if I'm
sister.
okay, so if I'm describing someone, which now, for the sake of me and the audience, so if I am describing someone who has autism, is it okay if I call them autistic? They're autistic. They're not living with. So nobody is living with a disability or living with autism. No. So they're either autistic or have cerebral palsy. It's okay to do that.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, welcome to Gilzawazo, and I hope you're having a good time and staying safe in this rainy season. We have a guest here. You've seen her a couple of times on Gilzawazo since 2020, and we had prepared an amazing discussion here. We recorded, but the audio decided that it's not cooperating, so we are going to do that audio. We're going to do that video again. But now, since we do not want to repeat what we had done this right now, we're going to move into another interesting topic, which will be reproductive health in children who are living with autism. I'm that specific because her children are living with autism, and I'll ask her to introduce herself and tell us a little bit.
I'm going to start with not next joke before I introduce myself. My kids don't live with autism. They live with their mom and dad.
Oh. Autism.
They live with their mom and dad.
Fine. And so if I'm okay, so if I'm describing someone, which now, for the sake of me and the audience, so if I am describing someone who has autism, is it okay if I call them autistic? They're autistic. They're not living with. So nobody is living with a disability or living with autism. No. So they're either autistic or have cerebral palsy. It's okay to do that.
Yes.
Okay. The reason why I use that phrase is sometimes we say people living with disabilities, so I cascade it across.
And I always ask, who is disability? Because if I'm living with, I'm living with someone.
You are cohabiting with that.
Yeah. So are we cohabiting with disability?
You know. Okay, fine.
And on that like note, my name is Jenny Miruri. I'm a mother of 3 girls, 2 of whom are on the autism spectrum. Yes, and I'm a major fan and follower of Gilzawazo because of the message we take out there, which is interventions, accommodations, and no stigma.
Yeah,
that's it.
She's not just my fan, she's also like my mom because she parents me when I'm here in Nairobi or when my mom is not around. She also helps me down in very numerous times, which I'm really grateful for. Been 4 years and counting.
Yeah.
So on to the topic of the day, because the audio decided to misbehave in the other video.
I think you should tell the audience it's ready to play music for you.
Music played over the video, the audio. So we're going to do it again. So we are going to just fix
I'll
them
make
up.
the time for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On to reproductive health. So I think we can set the background by you telling us about your daughters, and then so that we can move into how they are transitioning into puberty and so on.
Okay. Yeah. So my kids as well, pre-puberty and puberty. I call them A2 and A3 for purposes of maintaining their identity privacy. They've both been having a therapy provided for by Ibola in Kenya since 2021. That's right after COVID, when we're going to have therapy out there. And they've developed milestones that have led to A2 being semi-independent, being able to have activities of daily living, and also being able to more or less exist with fully just at social needs teacher support. A3 is came from being fully dependent, semi-dependent, pre-verbal with a lot of words. And yeah, both still have an occupational therapist with them. I wish we could do more sessions, but they're able to do 1 session a week. And the fact that they're both transitioning into puberty, adolescents, there's a whole issue of how do they handle the changes in their lives. With A3, what has worked is we've had both home therapy and school being on the same page in terms of discussing what's going on. Okay? So we've had social stories of this is what goes on in a woman's body at the age of 9, 10, 11, 12. And then this is why I'm different from you, and that's why we're so different from you. This is what happened. So we have the social story meant for her. And then we reinforce them by showing her practically what is like, this is how you wear a pad, this is how you wear a liner, this is where you should wear a liner on every other day, this is how you sit on your lawn, is how you bathe. So she has all that done. And so right now what we are going through is so for her learning the differences between a baby, a child, a toddler, a young girl, a good girl, an adult woman, an old woman, yeah, and the opposite of the same. So when do you distinguish somebody is a girl, a boy, a teenager, a pre-teenager, and all that? And then using social storytelling, letting her learn at her pace and ask all the questions that she can. Then the joy of this whole journey is that autistics don't have filters. They don't know when to be embarrassed about issues, and that's the system how to be embarrassed. So she'll ask you point blank on issues. Like the biggest discussion that was in our house a couple of times that included myself, her big sisters, and her occupational therapist is why she has to wear a book. And we were trying to explain to her why it's the same reason as when she wears a panty, and she's like, but people don't wear them at home, so it's wear mine at home. And that lets all of us now, every woman gets some bra.
Yeah. When you get home, the first thing you do
is remove the bras.
Yeah.
But because we want her to get used to wearing some, we've had to wear even at home.
Yeah.
And so that she can learn and also appreciate that. We also learning to explain to her what periods will look like and what to expect the period. What are her bad days and good days, what cravings look like. So she'll come, after she watches the social story a couple of times, she'll come and ask your blood question, and we'll try as our level best to try and break it down for her. And if she's not satisfied with my answer, she'll go to her big sister. If she's not satisfied with the big sister, she'll go to her best friend. If she's not satisfied with her best friend, she'll go to her SME teacher. And then when all of us are not answering her, she'll start Googling it.
and she'll think about
Yes.
and make it make sense.
Yes, and when she's Googling, then the good thing is that Google sends alerts to my phone and the father's phone, so we'll keep track so she then go down that bad rabbit hole. And then we come back and we try and go over it all over again with her. Like now she's been stockpiling on sanitary, and boy, is that girl stockpiling some very expensive ones. And we're like, you don't need all this. And she's like, no, this is for home, this is for my bag, this is for school. You know? So she's more or less excited to get there and also putting things together. So as she's transitioning to that age, we are ready for her. She seems to be ready, and we're going to continue having the conversation. Yeah, and watching the social story and the educational videos so that she can learn. She's a visual learner. Yeah, unfortunately, she has dyslexia, so she has had difficulties reading. And therefore, what we did is we shoot everything in audio for her. Because we said a long time ago, reading is not a necessity. It's something we want to give her anxiety issue over. So we introduced her to visual audio and then text, pictorial communication, which she's okay with. And she's able to look at that, yeah? Mm. I know along the way, as she experiences the journey of being a teenager, having periods and all, she'll ask questions, and will also be kind enough. We'll have her pediatrician walk her through options if she wants to have those options later in life. So we'll not be leaving anything to chance. We'll have that whole conversation. As for A3, her comprehension of what's going on with her is non-existent. The only thing we've noticed is that she's decided the mirror is her best explainer. You see, when we were teaching her how to talk and how to do things, we'll put her in front of a mirror and you'll do the activity behind her, so she'll sit and copy it from you. And so she learned that when she wants to figure out something, she goes before the full-length mirror. And so the young girl has discovered I have poop. It's time to look at them and figure out what are they and what are they said. And then she has gone through the stage of coming and comparing all of us. So guys, that's my daughter who was coming in, and I do protect their privacy. I do not put them on camera at any point. I do not speak for them in some matters, like right on where to put them or not put them. So I do respect that and keep them off camera. Yeah. So for her, she's learned that the only way she's going to discover these things is one, have a visual of it on camera and look at it and learn it. And basically be able to look at it and be able to just deal with it. And so with HP, she's learned that a mirror is her best explainer. Yeah. So she's been looking. So when she realizes that she's getting hips, she's getting boobs, she started deciding, okay, now, the other girls in this house. So she comes and looks at Chewers.
I've seen her doing that to her adopted sister.
Yes, like, so when she touches her, then she looks at her bum, then she'll come look at yours. She's trying to compare and see, do these things look alike? And for us, what now we are doing is trying to figure out, because of the communication challenge that she has, of how much she really understands. And it's a conversation we are having. It's going to be part of her individual plan, both for education and therapy. But we're going to keep it happening, so that she's able to. By the time she has to deal with adolescents, that she knows exactly what she's dealing with. And we'll also be talking to her pediatrician to see, based on her level of understanding, what our options are in keeping her comfortable. Because I'm a strong believer. Periods don't have to be painful for everyone else.
That's right.
Our generation went through hell. I don't think they should have to do that thing for whatever reasons there is. It won't stop the tongue. The question is just concentrating to the brain and communicating with the boys. That's why I assume.
And the reason why I'm asking, I we need to discuss this is because I've realized when I come here, or when I'm around her time, she's going to be like, hi, this is cousin Tess. She's a woman. So I asked her, so how do you know a teenager, a woman, a old person? So she told me, so we start from a baby, then we go to a child, then we go to a teenager, then we go to a woman, and then an old person. You see, so in my mind, I'm like, perhaps I think it would be nice to have this discussion, because when she starts segmenting people like that, where does she place herself, and does she understand what that segment has for her? For A2, she does. For A2, she does. I think, I don't know whether you saw me laughing with her therapist, telling her she needs to tell her she needs to let go of some things, because she has stockpiled. Girl is going to war. She is ready. I mean, like, dear body, when are we getting here? Come on. I'm ready.
You're ready. You're late. You're very late. And I'm thinking, come on, girl, you don't need all this. And she did it very interesting. And then the people she's involved in her journey to get things has been you and Jackie. Me, I'm coming to learn, girl is armed. When I'm now starting to have the conversation with her, like, let's start this conversation. She looks at me and she's like, I know. Been there, done that. So the conversation with her became not me telling her, but me telling her, okay, tell me what you know. Teach me, show me. And I realized I have nothing to tell her. I've been told everything. To the point of her school headmistress had a baby the other day, so she was like, I want to see the daddy to this baby. Because baby doesn't look like teacher. And it's a boy. Doesn't look like daddy. So when those conversations begin, you're like, okay,
it's about time.
It's more than time. It's beyond time, and she knows it. Because essentially, you're not gonna do the stock story with this one. No.
And even now, for us to around her, like, because at this time she hasn't seen any of our male friends and everything. It also now poses the question to us, like, who are you introducing to her circle? Because once you introduce someone, you're never going to introduce another person. So
when the boyfriend land, dear sweetheart, the boyfriend had better be final.
It is going to be the one and final, no more. Because I've realized, like, one, she's like, okay, I know that Tess is cousin. We are that box. We are not introducing another word for sister. She's cousin and she's cousin. Now you move on to the next thing. So the people she meets, you can't afford to keep on bringing people and removing them, because it disrupts
her thinking process.
So the other thing I wanted to ask is, when now she's noticing she has feet and it's 3, she knows, and she's always trying to explore and understand what is happening. Does A2 talk about it, or what she's feeling, or what is happening to her?
A2 is very clear. She's had what I'd call the periods of Braxton Hicks in terms of cramp. So the first time she got her, that period that checked in and then the successful years. After it was done, she just came and told us, I don't want to go through that again. It's not worth it. It's just annoying. And she was very clear. She looks at, she's like, Mommy, the value that I'm getting from this doesn't add up. So, Mommy, I don't want to go through that again. Get rid of it. Like, this has stopped. We're not doing this again, But also, she's also excited to go through what the, the beautiful stories are. Yeah? So when she gets there and she looks at both the beautiful and the ugly stories, then she'll tell us what she wants.
Yeah.
And one thing I know about her is once her mind is made up, you ain't changing it.
That's true.
Yeah, you ain't changing it. So whatever she decides at that point, she will support you.
And because now you've mentioned, I didn't want to bring that up, but because you brought it up, how the time she had her children came and went.
Mm-hmm.
What was her preference in terms of sanitary needs? Was it hard, even given that she might have sensory issues?
We tried, I think, 3 brands. We had Always Cotton, we had Cortex, and I can't remember the other brand. But she stuck to Cortex. Yeah. She stuck to Cortex. So we have, I think, 3 different Cortexes in her cupboard.
Yeah.
And she has this box that is her private world. It has her roll-on, her lip balm, her lip gloss, her little perfume bottle.
And what was she able to tell you why she chose Cortex?
It is itch. Yeah, she said all over itchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure you one absolutely itchy. Then the other branch I said it stink. I think it had a perfume or something, stink.
Mm-hmm.
Then Cortex, I think after because she worked during the day and she always at night, she said just any bleach now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So now taking the conversation away from home to into school, because it's only school where we go.
Mm-hmm.
Has she gotten to the phase where she interacts with boys like over? Because normally it's usually an innocent conversation, and then it starts getting about a boy did this or the other. Like, have you gotten to a place now where you're discussing those?
Oh yeah, we have boys who we don't like, boys we like, and boys we call cooties.
What?
Yeah, we call what? Cooties. What are they? Bad-mannered boys. Oh, yeah. In fact, she ever catches you hugging a boy, teaching a boy to call you cookie. That's bad-mannered.
So what do these boys do to warrant to be called that?
I don't think this is a conversation I can have on camera for her sake, yeah. But essentially, there are people who try to body shame her. Yeah, she's well and good and all that. So it's a boy who tries to body shame her, and didn't go into her good book, got reported to the teacher. I got told about it. And she called her adopted sister. And I told her adopted sister, there's a boy messing with her. She needs to go and discipline that boy. So the adopted sister is good. Yes, she's the protector. Yes, yeah, she's the protector. But to her adopted sister, you need to come to school and deal with it. So adopted sister had to go first, get diplomatically deal with it. Yeah. But when it became excessively, then we called the parent of the boy and were like, we ain't gonna talk to your son, we're gonna talk to you. It's not gonna be polite. Yeah. And we laid down the terms of how we're gonna talk to you. To talk to your son, because your son is a reflection of what you do at home. And you need to adult up and teach your boy that yes, he's interested in a girl. It's at that crush point. It's still young, so boys show their affection by being mean, but there's a limit. Yeah. And I think they should start because we don't have to. Then there's a boy who really likes her. A2 is tall. Yeah. So she's also big. So unfortunately, this boy. So this boy, at some point, he actually thought he used to come into our home also around that because this thing is coming up with the firstborn, yeah, the one in high school.
I've had that.
This thing is coming out of the one in high school, and still one day we realized he's coming after Esu. Then Esu went like, he's short. I mean, like, no,
it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. He's short, and we were laughing. And the dad was like, okay, my work is done. and I do know among all my 3 daughters that A2 will be the daughter I need to watch out for, because she wears her heart on her sleeve. She loves opinions and opinions. Yes. And then for A3, you never know when you'll not see her coming. Yeah, you won't see her coming. So I don't know how to deal with that, but I hope that the same we get there, we'll have the wisdom and the tools to guide her. Yeah.
Okay. So the other question I'm going to ask, when somebody was nasty to her in school and she had to ask to come and intervene, knowing the kind of person, she's just such a gentle soul. Yeah. And sometimes it might get to her. What tools do you use to like reaffirm her and get her to the place where she doesn't have to let it get to her?
There's no tool. No. Yeah, the only thing you have to do is have her coffee shop. Yeah. Let her tell you how she's feeling about it. Then show her it's not household.
Yeah.
And this accident does happen. And then we've learned to school our emotions and let her go through the process of being emotional, cry, get mad, sit with it, come back and talk to us. And then if she's not satisfied with what I tell her, she'll go to her adapted sister. Adapted sister is a no-nonsense person. So she'll tell her what you want to do about it.
Mm.
And then she'll be like, is that the right way to do it? And then they will all talk about it until she's like, okay. Yeah.
Mm.
But the one thing I'm waiting is to see her call her dad to the war room, like, come and meet you. Because the little one does that. Yeah. The little one, when she's really mad, she goes to the dad. And unfortunately, her communication is, I want to beat someone. So she'll actually hit him, like, get up.
That's the sign, like, we need to fight.
Yeah, like, get up. We need to go to war. Like, yeah. For me, she comes and says, get up. Yeah. And the way she says, get up, I have to get up, hold her hand, and she'll take me to where she's taking me. But the fact that she comes and hits him, like, let's go. Yeah,
that's the key.
Yeah, you will find out what it is that you need to do when you get to the destination.
Yeah.
So you go there with an open mind because she said she
wants you to fight.
Yeah, but you see, for the A3, sort her life. She sorts her issues. So if she calls you in, it's gotten out of hand. Yeah.
Okay.
If she needs you to come sort her issues, it's gotten beyond. Yeah. Like early on, she brought for this teacher she didn't, and then I think they didn't gel. So this teacher came holding a ruler and brought her chair next to A2's desk. A2 looked at her and decided we ain't dealing. A2 dragged her desk and went and sat outside the classroom. Like, you want to sit in class, you sit me, I'm sitting outside. Or you go sit outside, I sit inside. Or she picks her books and goes to another group to sit. A habit I understand she's brought even to her lower with her. They like you.
She's not going
to waste her time and space.
No.
Trying to make accommodations for you. She's just going to give you the space and move on, yeah? And move where she's welcome and where she's happy. But her current school is very welcoming. It's very integrative. I go about my day knowing she's safe. Yeah, considering all the challenges she has. Go about my school makes her safe. I also know that the staff look out for them. Yeah, you know, you won't be worried about an inappropriate handling. No. You won't, because there's always somebody with an eye on her as she moves around school throughout. And then the good thing about this is that kids have grown up knowing that it's normal to have an autistic kid in our class. It's normal to have an autistic kid among us. So these kids, even when they meet, they're hanging out with their parents are learning to be inclusive from them.
Even with the way they organize the autism work, like you could see how kids were so happy to carry each other on the back.
Yeah.
They are holding each other.
They knew how different the non-autistic could carry the autistic.
Yeah. And like
the adults were nowhere in the picture.
Yeah, it was so amazing because now you see if you start inclusion from a very early age, you foster inclusion to adults.
And they support each other all through.
Yeah, and then it also makes you realize that the adults are the problem.
Yeah,
the kids.
We are the problem.
Yeah,
a very big problem. Yeah, the kids are very fine and they learn from each other. If you remove the adults from this formula, they learn from each other.
Yeah,
and even like I've watched these kids help each other. Like there's one who was on a wheelchair. You didn't even notice there's a child on a wheelchair until you're in the field.
Yes,
because they take care of each other. I'm even aware that they actually ask each other, how are you doing? Yeah, because of the way to make sure that the special needs ones, well, we look on her treatment, her drums get clean, they wash their hands.
Even that day, you are like, so you're going to carry this one, and I'll carry this one, and this one. As in, they will be allocated each other, and there was no teacher so by. It was such a, for someone who is advocating for inclusion, I was just like, my work is because you can see that it will grow.
It will grow. They will grow. Unless an adult ever comes and misses with that, it will grow, yeah? And also then it also captures, what I've also learned is that the older girls protect the younger girls, especially in terms of matters, learning their privacy and learning the things they need to do. When it comes to even the reproductive health issues, the older ones who've learned, are now curious. We can actually see they have an eye out for the younger ones. Yeah, they have an eye. So the same amount of school, and grade 7 asked me whether it too has sanitary in their country. And whether she has a toilet bag, and I was like, yes, she does. She keeps it in her desk in case she ever needs it and we need to help her. I was like, why don't you have that conversation? Let her tell you if she's willing. She's my good friend. I just want to know whether she has them for, because you haven't brought them for her, you bring them for her.
Oh.
She needs to know where they are, and you also need to show her the big girl toilet. So she's coming there now. She's coming to the present for you to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you're looking out there. Yeah. So in terms of schools and their reproductive, and also the fact that the school being Catholic, they're very strict on the lines, boys and girls. So as much as I would want them to have these talks about doing together, the school has the rule of girls get talked to girls and boys get talked to about boys. By one thing I realized that the boys also get told about how boys grow and the boys are told how girls.
Yeah.
And how they should respect each other. This is moving forward, I know there will be an experimental stage, and they will have to most likely talk about it. Because if she's not somebody who tells, don't you dare,
You have to tell her why she should know.
yes, if you tell her, don't you dare, she's gonna dare.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have all these these are the consequences of you actually need to go down that line. I'm also one of those parents who won't be going down the line that a lot of parents go through. Because in my circles of special needs parents, you find as early as 12 years old, either parents have put their children back control or they've done extreme tubal ligation. And the unfortunate thing is not because they know their kids will have an active sexual life, it's because they've accepted that somebody within their circle will molest their child, and therefore they don't care about the molestation. What they care about is their child getting pregnant. And I find that very abhorrent. Yeah, very, very abhorrent. So for me, there's, as much as I'll try to protect her from the circles that I have and the ones I don't have, is we will have this conversation on the boundaries and why they shouldn't be close. Like right now, she's very clear on her privacy. Yeah, it's very clear. Even I'm not allowed in my room, I should change it.
I made the mistake of getting in and I didn't know she was here. So I was just like, Kajin said, I know the privacy.
I should very clear.
Yeah. I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were here. And I just had to leave her till she came back. Because, she was hiding behind the door. So when I opened the door, there was nobody in the room. So I just got in and I was like, Cousin Tess, I need privacy. I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. She's very clear about her private lines, yeah?
Yeah. And now...
Like now she's asking for a bigger towel. And I'm like, okay. My shopping list at the end of the month has to have a territory towel. Because already she has a big towel, but she wants a bigger towel because she feels it's not really, for her the towel has to come from this side to this side, but not just crossing here. Yeah. It has to go all the way around. So I said, okay, so we'll get you one. Yeah.
So now that we're even talking about her privacy, I want to protect her safety, and then how once you present hygiene, like what do you do for them to maintain, learn how to keep her teeth seasoning, attention. For hygiene, it became part of our activities of daily living. Yeah. So she has a routine. Wake up, have breakfast, brush your teeth. Yeah. It's not that she's leaving the house, she'll get into evening. But the day she's routine. Yes. If it's a school day, it's wake up, bathroom, dress, breakfast, brush your teeth, pray, let's go for the bath. Yeah. And the one thing about autistic is there's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You can never, even if there's a way to do step 2 and you can shower and brush your teeth at the same time, it ain't going to happen. It has to be linear. It has to be linear. Like the way we taught her how to tie shoelaces, it has to be done the same way. There's a shortcut, but you'll never pull it. Yeah. Because you didn't teach me that. And you're not teaching me shortcuts. Yeah. So when you teach them things, you teach them the proper way to do it. Yeah? And like taking care of herself was something we did over time. And once she got it, we're not involved in it. Yeah. The only thing is our utilities bills are very high because of the bathroom. Yes. And playing with water. And and these girls are very specific about their product. You're not just gonna get like the time I couldn't get the soap she likes, yeah? So I bought the same smell or the same, but a different brand. Feels it's in the house. They're not gonna touch.
It's not being touched.
Yeah.
Yes. She wants sour, lemon and honey. So dear mommy couldn't find sour in the supermarket, so she got geisha lemon and honey. Geisha lemon and honey still in our in the floor where we keep our food.
Yeah. It's the same way for noodles and not doing this.
Yeah. That's for chicken. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
just the same way they're gonna do biscuits or muffins, but they come here with your muffins from Fiji Million Bakers.
she's not touching.
You know,
Actually, I've noticed that you get the kind of muffins that we are having,
yeah,
even from last week.
yeah, they have to be specifically from Neighbor, vanilla, or plain. You do blueberries and what have you, find all the raisins and berries removed. Yeah, it will be more of a waste. Actually, with A3, she'll just crumble them in the process of trying to find what it is inside there to remove, yeah? And then if they're going to do bread, it has to be broad-ways brown bread. It's what I usually take. For the love of God, there's a day I think we couldn't find brothers who came with neighbor. Ha! Dude, it is a middle only, the really middle. And then you find this whole big chunk of the bread. It's gone. It's just there waiting for you.
And that is the culprit is getting for that.
Yeah, it's you. And it was just a mess. And then I think the father had bought a white bread also. But and then between Blue Band and Prestige, you better bring Prestige. The amount of peanut butter bought is how it is beyond. And then we basically get specific brands. We still get from a family in the neighborhood that makes it. My cock of milk. Boy.
And the flavored milk.
And the flavored milk. The drinking milk for A3. A3 drinks a lot of milk. She doesn't mess with milk. She drinks a lot of it. But now with A3, her sense of smell. She can pick a mug and not take conservative in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's for A3. A2 is texture. Like she hates cabbage. We make her eat it once in a while, but she needs the rest that she hates cabbage. Because she can't stand the taste of cabbage in her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the same thing where when you're taking this, the time you were taking med and the around the milk factor, the cook milk factor.
Yeah, my body smell changed. Because you could stand me. Yeah. Actually, she was sniffing from a distance and then go, enjoy it. Yeah, because the measure was on actually it was so bad that the dog stripped me.
Yeah.
Our domestic dog. The otter was an intruder. That's how bad my body smell had changed.
Because of the med.
Yeah.
And the younger one was not having me.
No. She didn't even coming near me. And you've seen her never lived away from me a lot. Yeah. It kept them. But that to reproductive health, for S3, I don't know what the future holds. We'll cross that bridge when it is. And I'm sure I'll come back and tell you with how easy and how
I'll be here for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And what textures, because for her, she has issues with textures of cakes and so I know we'll have a really, really crazy one. And also the fact that she's very athletic and loves also swimming, how that will factor into her athletic schedule.
You know, when you talk about textures, I'm now remembering the time we had gone for a party at in rock or something.
Yeah.
And there was a swimming, whatever. And at that time, she still hadn't overcome her sensory
issues with clothes.
And she preferred to trip and just she.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, now if it's sanitary, I'm actually curious to know the kind of sanitary choices you will make at that point.
Yeah.
Which now makes me ask, when it comes to autistic, are there individuals who are not able to overcome sensory issues at all, and now when they are having their periods, how do their caregivers go about it?
Okay, I've heard the story.
Yeah.
The caregiver can, the persons on periods, they can't go anywhere because it's all happening. But the most extreme I've had is over hysterectomy. It was so bad that the doctors ended up doing a hysterectomy in the car. She would literally go mad. Yeah. And end up in a psych ward and in a psych hill.
All that is in this country.
Yeah. As in, when her period began by the 2, she was in a psych ward, straight jacket and everything.
Yeah.
And the parents had to make the very, very hard decision to test the hysterectomy. It was like, yeah. Nowadays, she just knows with her life. She's a first. Yeah. How it should be, she's about 17, then she's not 18. But I made that decision to get the mother to it was the worst decision. But they had done, it had become like every month you're committed. Every month they ate that because if you reach a point because she's stronger than the mother had to call in her. And whenever she called in her, they took her in a psych ward, medicate her. No matter it's like, we can't do this so long. She's going to develop other problems. So what are the next actions? And they started and they were like, you have to see her being a responsible mother, her carrying a child son, and that was I mean, she can't even take care of herself. The cognition issues are very many. And that was one of the hardest decisions. So yes, it does happen. I also know parents who put their kids on medication to improve with the period. There also the easy management one. Yeah, the pain management, cramp management. Yeah. Yeah, but the biggest I know is that a lot of parents, especially those whose children have cognitive issues, they've gone for more extreme care, like child education in that country, so that the kids never have career child. Yeah. It will probably give them brain other mental issues already on top of the many challenges they have there. But for me, I say we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and I pray that we'll make the right decision for our daughters, and also not only will be the right decision, but also the people. Yeah, depending on what it is. I know A2 will tell us point blank exactly what she thinks of this whole journey. Yeah, once it settles down and has a pattern, she'll tell us, and based on that, then we shoot her head. The definitely would have to put those in her life and full support network and just figure out what we're going to do about it. Yeah, but at the end of the day, she has to understand it and she has to give us the instruction. For A2, I know that will happen. For A3, well, dear God, when we get there. When we get there. And I know you're going to be around, you're going to stay the next 4 years maybe.
I know, I think for my A2. Oh no, A2 forced to transition.
Yeah, forced to transition out into adult student. And then, yeah, because they tend to be around 17, 18, yeah.
We've spoken about A2 and we've talked about how work on and decisive and very clear in her communication she is. Which now brings me back to when we met, we were talking about access. We spoke about access. Yeah, she's not another kind of access. So now I'm bringing you back to the question of her decision making and the legalities around it. Where are we right now?
We feel as horrible as it was as far as the law goes. So once she turns 18, has an ID, and I know we'll get sure that she has the capacity to understand the division students are being an adult versus the Republic of Kenya. If we realize that that cannot happen, then we'll do the whole court process of making sure she has a guardian. Yeah, she has a guardian, which will be probably one of us, the parents for the big city. So that if she has a bank account, she works, she can have property, because she has property. How well she's protected from being single. It will all be about protecting her. Yeah. But when it comes to the Kenyan law, we're still where we were. Yeah, the penal code is still against them. Their rights are still unheld.
Unfortunately, we have had to end this video abruptly because we have a medical situation that we need to take care of. However, we still do believe that the amount of information we've shared in this video is super helpful, and do let us know by leaving us a feedback in the comment section, a comment, ask us questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We'll still have Dr. Jane come back here again next week, and we'll talk more about reproductive health, and she will also be telling us how her journey has been for the last 4 years, because her children have achieved tremendous milestones. But in the meantime, be safe, make good choices, and I'll see you then.